square breathing. So we're going to inhale for a count of 6, hold for a count of 6, exhale for a count of 6, hold for a count of 6. So you can see it's in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. You can go at your own pace, at your own count. So if you want to lengthen the count, you count slowly. You want to shorten it, you just count faster. Just make sure that it's all the same. So don't go a long count for your inhale and then a quick count for your hold. Try and keep it the same sort of rhythm. Alrighty, so you can have your hands on your knees or in your lap. Remember to lengthen up the spine, tuck the hips. This length allows you to get more oxygen in and more expansion in the rib cage. And off you go. 6, 6, 6, 6. Finish up this round and release the square breath. And we're going to move into Ujjayi breathing, just to bring that awareness into the breath. And I'd like you to attempt to take Ujjayi breathing throughout your practice. The only reason why I say is attempt is, often we forget as we're going into the motions. But today, I hope every time I remind you to breathe, you remember that you're going into Ujjayi just to bring breath awareness. So that Ujjayi breathing is when we close our throat a little bit, so we're creating that Darth Vader ocean kind of sound in the throat as we're breathing in and out. And it just helps us, because we're hearing the sound of the air, it helps us bring our awareness into the breath work. So yeah, into Ujjayi breathing, in for 6, out for 12. Exhales are longer. It again gives you more opportunity to be aware of the sound of that breath as you exhale. I'm just trying to go loud there, so I don't know whether you heard that. Okay, so off we go. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 12. Inhale for 6. Exhale for 12. Finish up your last round, allowing your breath to return to its normal steady pace. Alrighty, so let's come closer to the front of the mat, not all the way to the front, and just come onto your shins. And from here, we're just going to lean forward, lifting in the armpits, broadening the shoulders, and lift up onto the toes. And then lift back down. So you want there to be a moment of stasis where you're actually just on your hands. It's like a split second. It doesn't need to be a long hold, but you can feel this lifted motion before you drop onto your feet, lifted motion before you're on your toes. So you lift, toes, lift, feet, lift, toes, lift, feet, lift, toes, lift, feet, lift, toes, lift, feet, lift, toes, lift, feet. Good. Now we're going to start adding in a little bit of a motion. So when we're on our toes, we're helping stretch out the toes in one direction. Now we're going to start leaning backwards to stretch out the tops of the feet. Lean forward, hop onto your toes. Bounce back onto the tops of your feet and lean back and forward onto your toes. Tops of the feet, lean back, forward, toes. Tops of the feet, lean back, forward, toes. Tops of the feet, lean back, onto your toes, and stay on your toes this time. We're going to use our hands to again feel that lift motion, just to bounce our feet a little bit forward. Again, so we're closer to the front of the mat, but we're not at the edge of the front of the mat. Keep your knees close together, tuck the hips under, lift in the belly. Take your arms either out in front of you, out to the sides, or anywhere that feels comfortable to help you maintain balance. I like to sweep, but I have a lot more balance than some. So I sweep, sucking my belly up, lifting, staying on your tippy toes, and pulling your arms all the way to the ceiling. Lengthen through your whole body, and then come down onto the flat of your feet, keeping your arms up in the air. Take a nice deep inhale. Remember, we're trying to bring in that Ujjayi breathing, breath awareness the whole time. Then I want you to sweep your arms down to the sides as you come down to a forward fold, but stop at a tabletop position. Place your hands on your knees, and I want you to feel like your sternum is being pulled forward. Keep the belly lifted, sucking back towards the spine. Bend the knees, drop the hands all the way to the floor, and then lift them up so you're in your Utkatasana. From here, I want you to really root down into your left leg, lift the right, and send it behind you. So we're in a high lunge and the arms lift with us. Make sure you're keeping the belly active and not just releasing everything. Stomach pulls in, hips are pulling in, arms are feeling nice and long, pulling up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the right bum cheek to help turn that hip slightly out, getting into a deeper hip flexor stretch. Release the hands and interlace them behind you, pulling them up towards the roof behind you. Now you're going to drop your sternum towards your knee. Lift back up, release the hands and straighten the front leg. Take a deep breath in and take your hands up towards the ceiling again. Feel the lengthening throughout the whole body. So feel as the scapula get pulled up towards the ceiling, belly lifts, tucking the hips under, and then very slowly start leaning over that front leg, It's straight, back leg is straight, you're on your tippy toes on the back foot. And then continue lowering down. If this is very intense, you can place your hands on your shins. If you've got yoga blocks, you can have blocks next to you to help hold you. And if you're flexible enough, you can take your hands all the way down to the floor. I'm not there yet, I'm coming back to my shin. Oh, without losing balance. Keep breathing and lengthen through the spine. Don't curl your back trying to get to your shin, rather feel the sternum being pulled down towards the ankle. Come up slightly to help you bend that front knee, and then bend it all the way. You might want to readjust, especially if you've got long legs, to try and get the knee and the ankle in the same alignment. Back leg, you're squeezing your right bum cheek and pushing the hips down towards the floor, stretching in your hip flexors. Drop the right knee to the floor and go deep into those hip flexors. Lean onto your right hand and push the left knee gently away from your body, stretching out in a bit of a lizard pose. Turn your sternum towards that left leg, and if you're able, you bend your back leg and you grab your foot. If that's too intense, it's fine to just leave the back leg bent. Release that back leg, taking the foot down to the floor, and you're going to lean backwards, keeping the front foot, left foot flexed, sucking belly back again. Think about sternum pulling towards your shin. The reason why I want the sternum, and I'm bending my leg just to show you, is in our spine, we want to almost feel the hips tilt towards the leg. Sort of, you're imagining that your hips are exactly what they are, that sort of hinge position. So you want the hips to move forward, not just the sternum to, or rather the upper shoulders to round. You really want to get the hips to allow you to move down towards your shin, if that makes sense. And we're going to lean forward, but as we lean forward, we lift the back leg straight. Getting into that hip flexor stretch. Remember to use your right bum cheek. Drop the knee back down and lean backwards again. Lean forwards, lifting the back leg. Put the knee down and lean back again. Lean forward, straightening the back leg. Now we're going to twist towards the right, and we're allowing the feet to turn inwards with us. and we're going into an inner thigh stretch. I'm just going to turn my body around so not everybody gets a booty shot. There we go. So you want to make sure that your right leg is flexing up towards the ceiling. It's not on its side. Lifting up, getting into these inner thighs. And then you're going to start pushing down with the left leg, just gently. It's just activating the muscles up and down. Activating the muscles up and down. Activating the muscles up and down. Place your hands on the floor and you lift up and over to get now your left leg opening up to the side. If your feet aren't flat like mine, it's fine if you're up on your tippy toes. We're working towards the flexibility range to be able to put your foot on the floor. So you're just trying to get the foot there. You find your stretch point and you stay there. Now you push down in the right leg just to get that movement up and down. Push down in the right leg and down, down in the right leg and down. And now we're going to turn our bodies. Wait, am I fibbing to you? No. We're going to turn our bodies now so that our left leg is in our lunge position. Drop the back knee towards the floor, so we're going backwards from all the exercises that we've just done. And lean backwards, stretching out that left leg. I feel like maybe I've confused myself because I went in the wrong direction. Guys, as long as you're working on the other leg, you're right. Because I think I might have confused myself when I turned my body around. Alright. As you come forward, you lift the back leg. Drop down and lean back. Remember, we want to think about sternum being pulled towards our right leg. Come forward, and as you come forward, you straighten the back leg. Remember to squeeze the left bum cheek, pushing the hips down towards the floor. Drop that knee back down and lean backwards. Come forwards, lifting that back knee, squeezing the bum cheek. And drop that knee down to the floor. Lean on your left hand, allowing the right knee to be pushed away from your body in a bit of a lizard position. Allow your sternum to turn towards that right knee. Bend the back knee. And if you're able, you take your right hand to grab your foot. You pull that foot towards your bum, getting a deeper hip flexor stretch. Release that back leg, drop it down towards the floor, pull that knee back into its more aligned position, and you might need to readjust your back leg, so just check it out as we go back into that pyramid position. So you straighten the back leg, you're on your tippy toes on the back, and you're trying to straighten the front leg, suck the belly, and so this time we're going to be lifting our body from this down position. So first grab your shin or your blocks or hands on the floor. And now straighten your arms up ahead of you and start lifting up towards the roof. Bend your knee back into your warrior 2 position. No, we're in warrior 1, my bad. Allow your body to come down towards the floor. And just push down in that front leg, lifting your hands. Then get ready in this bent position. You're bringing your left leg back towards your front, but you're keeping the knees bent. Now we're going back to our chair position. Then slowly squeezing the bum, lift up to a standing position. Feel your arms being pulled long, so long that you can easily just lift up onto those tippy toes. Stay on your tippy toes as you slowly sweep your arms down, bending all the way down to the floor. Place your hands on the floor, lift in the arms, send your feet back. So you now sitting on your shins again. Oh gosh, tongue twisted. And from here, we're going to lift in the armpits, send your right leg back, and then your left into your plank position. Squeeze the bum cheeks and lift your right leg up into the air. Pop it down, lift the left leg in the air. Right leg, left leg. Now we're going to put our knees on the floor and we're going to do a baby chaturanga. So make sure these elbows are pulling into towards your body rather than out. Suck the hips, tuck the hips under, and slowly lower yourself towards the floor, keeping your belly lifted. Push slowly up into cobra, only unraveling your head as you lengthen up. Feel sternum being pulled forward. Squeeze your bum cheeks to help support the lower back. Tuck your toes and come back into your plank position. So now if you found that baby version of chaturanga easier for you, you're going to utilize one knee to help you go down in a one-legged chaturanga. If you find chaturanga normal is great for you, then you do the full chaturanga. So if you want to wait, so I can show you both examples before we go. So you've got your full chaturanga, so we lift the one leg, drop all the way down, come into upward facing dog, and then that leg comes up. Or one leg lifted, and the other knee on the floor, chaturanga down, lift, and then both legs can come into your upward facing dog. Okay, so your choice which one you want to do. We're going to start off doing our right leg. So plank or one knee on the floor, lift your right leg into the floor, into the air, chaturanga down, lift it into upward facing dog and place your foot on the floor. Come into your downward facing dog. Come back into your plank position. Left leg gets lifted, chaturanga, up into upward facing dog and place the foot on the floor. Downward facing dog. Onto your hands and knees and allow yourself to rest in child's pose for a few moments. Back up onto your hands and knees. Place your hands a little bit further than under your shoulders. Lift in the armpits, tuck the toes, up into your downward facing dog. And we're going to lift our right leg up into our three-legged dog, opening the hip and bending the knee behind us. So you're really pushing the hips forward, trying to feel that hip flexor stretching. Then bring that knee towards your right elbow, the ankle towards the left wrist, and send your left leg leaning or sliding backwards to get into our pigeon position so that we can get a nice stretch happening in the bum. You can lower your body towards the floor and just hang out here for a moment. Remember to keep tapping into that Ujjayi breathing. And now start dropping your bum towards the floor. It's that right bum cheek towards the floor. And then come back up to that neutral position. Drop the bum down again. Keep feeling that belly lifting, creating space in that hip flexor area. Try and send your left leg a bit further back. Push your body up. And with your left hand, you're going to try and grab your left foot. So you bend the knee, reach back, and pull that leg towards your upper body. So you're just getting another deeper stretch into the hip flexors. I want you to try and use your right bum cheek now. So you're going to squeeze in the bum cheek, pushing the hips more forward and pushing down in that right leg so that you can lift your right hand. Even if you just lift it onto the leg, but you're pushing down in that bum cheek. And gently release. Push down in your hands, lifting up into your downward facing dog again. Let's walk out the dog a little bit. And get ready to lift our left leg into the air. Open the hip and bend the foot behind you. Feeling that hip flexor stretch. Bring that knee up towards the elbow and ankle towards the opposite elbow. Place your leg down and slide the right leg backwards. Come down onto your elbows and just sit stretching out your glutes for a bit. Let that left bum drop onto the floor and back up again. Floor and up again. Just keep going backwards and forwards or side to side. Come back to your neutral position. Try and push that right leg further back. And then we're going to lean sort of backwards, lifting up in the chest. Bend the right leg, and with your right hand, if you're able, you grab that foot. Keep pulling it towards you if you can. And again, you're trying to push down in the left leg so that you can actually release your left arm. You can still place your hand on your leg if you prefer, but just pushing down in that left leg using the bum muscles. Release the back leg, place your hands on the floor, and you lift up into your downward facing dog. And let's walk out the dog a little bit. down onto your hands and knees, and then down onto your side bum. Right now we've got both our legs pulled to one side of us. So we're going to hold our opposite hand onto the knees and take same arm as the side that the knees are bent towards, up towards the ceiling. Make sure you're tucking your hips under, lifting the belly, and then you're just pulling gently towards the opposite side. You can feel this probably in your QLs, going a little bit into your middle back, up the arm. Release. Swing your legs around to the other side. Again, opposite hand grabs the knee. Same hand as the side that the legs are on. Lifts up towards the ceiling and pulls in the opposite direction. So your knee is pulling down into that hand, so it's not lifting with you as you lean. Release. I'm going to take the top leg over the bottom leg. Top leg over the bottom leg. Make sure you're tucking your hips under, sucking belly towards your spine. And first we're going to take the same arm as your bent leg, and that same arm is lifting up towards the ceiling, and we're twisting towards that open side of the leg. So this is quite an easy twist. Make sure that this knee isn't leaning too far out or pulling too far in. You're trying to keep it in alignment with the hip. Now we're going to sweep that arm over behind us, lifting the opposite arm towards the ceiling, and then feel like you're sucking your belly backwards and pull your body all the way around, twisting deeper. Release. And now this knee is going to stack on top of the bottom knee. Tuck the hips, lift in the belly, and you start leaning forward. You can place your hands on the floor initially. And then if you're able and you're willing to challenge yourself a little bit, we're going to send our same arm as the top leg behind our back, reaching up between the scapula, and the other arm comes up and over. Hands try to grab each other, and you lean over your knees. Gently come up, and now we swap legs over. We're going straight into Gomukhasana, and then we'll do the twist on this side. So you again try to stack knees on top of each other. Try not to sit on your foot, rather have your feet next to the bum. Initially you just lift in the belly, tuck the hips, and lean forward. And once again, if you want to challenge yourself, you take the same hand as the top leg and place it behind you, crawling up between the scapula. Now the leg reaches up and over, grabbing fingers. Slowly come up, and the top leg lifts, so the foot is just near the bottom knee. Make sure you're lifting in the belly, tucking hips under. This knee, you want it aligned with the hip. You don't want it dropping out or coming too far forward. And we'll first open up to the open side. So the same hand as the bottom leg will come behind you. Same leg as the same hand as the top leg comes up, and you twist towards the open side. Keep sucking your belly back, tucking hips under. Release, and you cartwheel that top arm behind you, taking the arm that's the same arm as the bottom leg. You lift it up towards the ceiling, suck your belly back, and twist over. The more you suck your belly backwards, the easier it is to twist. Gently release. Bring your feet together in front of you in your Baddha Konasana position. Interlace your fingers around your toes. Feel your sternum being pulled towards your feet, lengthening up the back. Keep trying to pull your body closer towards your feet. You should be feeling this inner thighs going a little bit into the upper hip area. Gently release, and let's get ready for relaxation. Take a deep breath in and exhale through your mouth, releasing any tension in your body. Deep breath in. Out through the mouth. clock those distractions and bring your awareness back to the Gayatri mantra. Wiggling fingers, start wiggling toes. Allow your body to stretch out long one last time. And gently come up to your seated position. We'll we'll just do one closing Om. Hands can be on your knees or into your heart center. Take a deep breath in. Thank you, everybody.